Hi everyone, John O'Hurley here for a high school quiz show, Rhode Island. Today, we have a great team from Lincoln High School. Up against a team from Classical. Coming up next, high school quiz show, Rhode Island.
High School Quiz Show Rhode Island is brought to you in part by the Rhode Island Foundation.
Hello everyone, welcome to High School Quiz Show Rhode Island. I'm John O'Hurley, your host. You know, back in October, high school teams from all over Rhode Island competed at our Super Sunday qualifying event to earn one of 8 spots in this year's competition. The goal is how to become the next high school quiz show state champion. Well, today's matchup has Classical High School taking on Lincoln Senior High. On our Classical team, let's introduce them now. We have Judah, Steve, Owen, and Clara, with alternates Mary and Yameli, and coaches Michael Colanino and Chris Seminara. And on our Lincoln Senior High, we have Alexa, Hannah, Rochelle, and Julia, with alternates Casimiro and Daniel, and Coach Ron Almeida. Our competition today has 4 rounds. We have a toss-up, a head-to-head, a category round, and a lightning round at the end. We'll start with our toss-up round right now. All answers are worth 10 points, and this is the only round with no point deductions for wrong answers, so no harm, no foul if you take a stab at it. Everybody ready? All right, here we go. Question number 1. With approximately 81 million people, what country has the highest population in Western Europe? First answer comes from Alexa.
Germany.
Germany is correct. What president preserved the Union during the American Civil War? Rochelle, to you.
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln is correct. Meaning large O, what is the 24th and last letter of the Greek alphabet?
Omega.
Stephen, to you. All right, Omega was correct. Thank you. In 1215, under the threat of civil war, England's King John was forced to sign what document known as the Great Charter? Judah?
Magna Carta.
The Magna Carta, correct, yes. What 17-year-old Pakistani girl has become the youngest recipient to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014? I'm sorry, not in time. Malala Yousafzai is the correct answer. What is the chemical symbol for gold? Alexa, to you.
AU.
AU is correct. Latin for cloud, what huge cloud of dust and gas is called the birthplace of the stars? Alexa, yes?
Nebula.
Nebula is correct. What historic textile mill in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, is known as the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution? Owen, to you?
Slater Mill.
Slater Mill is correct. Remembering that Grover Cleveland was both the 22nd and the 24th president, how many individual men have served as U.S. presidents? Judah, to you?
45.
I'm sorry, incorrect. Over to Lincoln. Alexa, to you?
44.
44 is correct. In 2017, what political satire series won an Emmy for Outstanding Comedy Series and Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series? To you, Judah?
Veep.
Veep, yes, my co-star, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It will not even pay for the cigars I smoked writing it. Who made this comment about his work Das Kapital? Answer to you, Judah?
Marx.
Karl Marx is correct. From the Greek meaning, reaction with water, name the chemical process in which a molecule is cleaved into 2 parts by the addition of a molecule of water. Clara?
Hydrolysis.
Hydrolysis. In 2016, what former Attorney General launched a redistricting initiative called the National Democratic Redistricting Committee? No answer, okay, that was Eric Holder. Which of the following events in the 18th century American history occurred first? Shays' Rebellion, the Boston Tea Party, or lastly, Pontiac's War? Alexa.
Pontiac's War.
Pontiac's War, correct. Here's a math question for you. What is 7% expressed as a decimal? To you, Judah.
0.07.
That's correct. What country has the most poisonous animals per square mile than any other place on Earth? Stephen, to you.
Australia.
Australia is correct. 1946, while visiting the grave of his friend Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who said meeting Roosevelt was like uncorking your first bottle of champagne? Judah?
Churchill.
Very good guess. No reason, no harm, no foul. You took a stab, you got it right. Continuing on, and this is going to be a question we turn to the video monitors for.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Mark Searles, and here's my question. Invented by an Italian scientist in the 1600s, what device measures atmospheric pressure?
Alexa, to you.
Barometer.
A barometer is correct. Thank you very much. Ernest Hemingway's nonfiction book, Death in the Afternoon, describes his passion for what Spanish sport? Alexa?
Pele.
Pele is incorrect. We'll go to classical. Owen?
Bocce.
Bocce? No. Believe it or not, bullfighting. In taxonomy, seahorses belong to what genus named after the Greek words for horse and sea monster? Hippocampus is the correct answer. Which of the following Asian cities is situated farthest north? A, Bangkok, B, Hanoi, C, Seoul. Alexa?
Seoul.
Correct answer, yes, was C, Seoul. All right, moving on. Until the 1940s, Native Americans were not allowed to vote in what Western African countries settled by freed U.S. slaves? Clara?
Liberia.
Liberia is correct. On July 26, 2002, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to create what new cabinet department? Alexa?
Health and Human Services.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Department of Homeland Security.
Department of Homeland Security, the last one created, exactly. All right, a math question. Solve this equation for x. 4x minus 8 is 0. Julia, down to you.
X is 2.
X is correctly 2, yes. From 1540 to 1905, at least 5 ballets, 48 operas, 77 plays have featured what Egyptian pharaoh? Judah?
Tut.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is Cleopatra. Should be pharaohette. On July 23rd, 2017, America's oldest commissioned warship returned to the waters of Boston Harbor after undergoing a $12 million restoration in dry dock. What is the name of this national landmark? Yes, to you, Alexa?
USS Constitution.
Is correct. What is the last name of the family in Little Women, Louisa May Alcott's classic novel that follows the lives of 4 sisters in the post-Civil War America? No answer. The March family. Continuing on, the Boxer Rebellion was the name of the peasant uprising in 1900 that attempted to drive all foreigners from what country? Judah, to you?
Russia.
Sorry, incorrect. Lincoln?
Oh, China.
China is correct. That signifies the end of round 1. Let's check our scores right now. Classical has 110. And guess what? So does Lincoln. It's a tie score. Let's have a big hand for both teams. The pace and the points continue as the head-to-head competition is up next. But first, we're going to take a few minutes to get to know our players individually here. So here's my question for each one of you. If you could invent something to make a positive difference for the world, what would it be and why? We'll start with classical. Judah, to you.
I would invent a way to make socialism work in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Hadn't worked anywhere else, but let's try to find a way here. Okay. All right, Stephen, to you.
I would invent some sort of mech suit that would allow first responders to more easily navigate areas that are really dangerous for humans on foot.
Very good. Very good. Absolutely. I love that. But maybe the drones will be the answer to that. All right. Owen, to you.
I'd invent a safer, cleaner source of energy.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Clara, how are you? Nice to have you with us. How about you?
I would invent a device that can detect the onset of terminal illnesses.
At an early stage.
At an early stage, yes. It would help in diagnostic radiology, believe me. Alexa, hello, how are you? Over there at Lincoln, how are you?
I'd invent efficient desalination machine so we can have an end to the global water crisis.
Exactly, and it will happen. It would happen because I tell you, if you discover water, it's the basis of existence, isn't it? All right, Hannah, hi, how are you?
Hi. I would invent a way for Jolly Ranchers to not stain your tongue. That way Julia would have a normal colored tongue after eating them.
You have mankind at your deepest heart, don't
Of
you?
course.
Rochelle, how are you?
I'm good.
Nice to have you.
I would invent a machine that could stop time so people could watch their Netflix series without spoilers.
A spoiler-free existence. Well, I think that has a lot of merit to it. Hello, Julia.
Hi.
How are you? What is your project?
I would invent more comfortable heels because I'm vertically challenged.
Well, that would make you taller heels. Is that what you want?
Yes.
You want to be less vertically challenged, but more comfortable. I get it, yeah. I'm wearing lifts. I'm actually 4'1". All right, well, it's time to our next round right now. So come on down. It's time to go head to head. We're about to go head to head. I've got Lincoln here on my left, and I have Classical here on my right. Shake hands, please, players, and come out thinking. In this round, you're going to get 10 points for every correct answer. Incorrect answers are going to cost you 10 points. You buzz in at any time, and the clock is set at 90 seconds. Are we ready? Here we go. Question number 1. Before he was president, Barack Obama was a senator from what U.S. state?
Illinois.
Illinois is correct. What is the name given to the animal that evolves from a pampered pet into a fierce sled dog in Jack London's 1903 novel Call of the Wild? No answer, sorry. The name was Buck. What Midwestern state is the most northerly of the 48 contiguous states in the United States? No answer. It's Minnesota. Hindus consider it a sacred duty to bathe in the waters of what river? That's the Ganges River, yes, of course. Where on the human body would you find the occipital bone? That would be the noggin, the skull. The play Master Harold and the Boys takes place during apartheid in what country?
South Africa.
South Africa is correct. The word glasnost refers to the Soviet policy of openness under what Russian leader? No answer. Gorbachev. The Folger Library in Washington, D.C. is mainly dedicated to what author? We're stumping you. William Shakespeare. Green plants make sugar through what chemical process? Right, that's right, okay. Photosynthesis is correct, all right. And there's the end of our 90-second round. Let's take a look at our scores right now. Classical got 30, they're at 140. Only 10 points for Lincoln, they're at 120, but let's give them a round of applause. It's still a very tight game. Next up, here's a chance to have a lot of fun, especially at home, the category round. With the following categories, here they are. Happy accidents, War of the Roses, mental math, The Great Gatsby, Analogies, Fashionista. Each category has 5 questions with increasing point values. Now, players, you can confer with your teammates, but once you buzz in, you're no longer allowed to confer. We're going to need your answer, okay? All right, Lincoln, you have 20 points to make up. You are going to choose the first category. Can you tell us what that's going to be, please?
War of the Roses.
War of the Roses. All right, here we go. For 10 points. Green plants make sugar by taking up water and minerals through their roots. And what gas through their leaves? Answer goes to Judah.
CO2.
CO2 is correct, and then you control the board.
War of the Roses.
Stay with War of the Roses now for 15 points. Which of these plants, ferns, hollies, or roses, reproduces with spores instead of with seeds? Down to you, Alexa.
Ferns.
Ferns are correct. Okay. Moving on to you because you control the board. The category, please.
We'll stick with War of the Roses.
Stay with War of the Roses. Okay, this time for 20 points. Typically consisting of a filament and anther, what is the pollen-producing male part of a flower? Judah, to you.
Stamen.
The stamen, correct. Board to you. Your choice?
Great Gatsby for 10.
Great Gatsby for 10. These are questions about, of course, the Great Gatsby. For 10 points. 1922, what author began writing the iconic Jazz Age novel, The Great Gatsby, in his home of Long Island? To you, Hannah?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Is correct. Yes, of course. You control the board. Your category, please.
We'll do Great Gatsby again.
Great Gatsby again, this time for 15 points. Who was the narrator of The Great Gatsby that says, "There was music from my neighbor's house through the summer nights. In his blue gardens, men and girls came and went like moths"? To you, Hannah?
Nick Carraway.
Nick Carraway is correct. Continue.
We'll do Great Gatsby again.
Great Gatsby will stay with them now for 20 points. You're doing well here. Jay Gatsby's extravagant lifestyle and wild parties are simply an attempt to impress what married woman with whom he's deeply in love? Went to you, Stephen.
Daisy Buchanan.
Daisy Buchanan is correct, so the board goes back to you.
Gatsby.
Gatsby, you're going to stay. 25 points for you this time. If you get it right, Gatsby's mansion is located on a fictional Long Island town that is considered unfashionable because it's home to the self-made rich. And what town is that? Down to you, Alexa.
West Egg.
West Egg is correct. The board goes back to you. What would you like to choose?
We'll stick with Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby, okay. Popular category here for 30 points. Now, during the war, Daisy had promised to wait for Gatsby, but she broke her promise and married what wealthy, powerful man? Rochelle.
Tom Buchanan.
Tom Buchanan. Boy, you know your book well. All right. Well, you completed that category. What else would you like to choose?
War of the Roses, please.
War of the Roses. Back now for 25 points in this category. Gymnosperms are plants that produce cones. What term from the Greek for vessel and seed describes plants that produce flowers? Tough one. Angiosperms. Angiosperms. All right, you still control. What would you like to choose?
We'll stick with War of the Roses.
Stay with War of the Roses for 30 points this time. What plant hormone is a gas that causes fruit to ripen? Tough category. Ethylene. Ethylene, okay. You still control. What would you like to choose now?
Mental math.
Mental math. Questions about math. Went without saying, didn't it? For 10 points. Find the third angle of a triangle if the other two angles are 45 and 60 degrees. Now to you, Stephen.
Degrees.
What's that?
75 degrees.
75 degrees, yes. All right, you control the board now.
Mental math.
Mental math, okay. For 15 points, how many pounds are in 6 U.S. tons? Stephen, to you again.
12,000 pounds.
I'm sorry?
12,000 pounds.
You got it there, exactly. All right, this is a good category for you. What would you like to choose?
Mental math.
You want to stay with that for 20 points now? All right, from the Greek, meaning comparison. What term refers to the curve-shaped graph of a quadratic function? Clara?
Parabola.
The parabola is correct. Very good. Your category?
Mental math.
Stay with mental math, okay. If the second derivative of a function is a quadratic function, what is the degree of the original function? To you, Claire.
A cubic.
That is incorrect. All right, Lincoln, to you.
Quartic.
A quartic is correct. All right, you control the board now. To you.
We'll go to analogies.
Analogies. All right, analogies. Our first time in this. This is just complete, the analogy. 10 points, please. Deer is to antlers as sheep is to what?
Horns.
Horns is correct. And you control the board again.
We'll stick with analogies.
All right. Jonas Salk is to polio as Edward Jenner is to what? No answer. Smallpox. All right, you still control. Your category?
We'll stick to it with analogies.
Stay with analogies, okay. 20 points now. The Dow Jones is to New York as the Nikkei is to what? Judah, down to you.
China.
Incorrect. Anybody from Lincoln? Alexa?
London.
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is Tokyo, the Nikkei. Exchange in Tokyo. All right. You still control with the last correct answer. Lincoln?
Happy accidents for 10.
Happy accidents. Okay, our first time in this category here. This is questions about accidental discoveries or inventions. For 10 points, on hiking trips in 1941, Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral was intrigued by burrs that kept clinging to his dog's fur. This inspired him to create what hook and loop fastener? Owen.
Velcro.
Velcro, isn't that interesting? Interesting question. Okay, and a very good answer. All right, you control the board now.
Analogies.
For 25 points now, Brown University is to Providence as Yale University is to what city in Connecticut? Okay, Judah?
New Haven.
New Haven is correct, of course. All right. You control again. What category, please?
Analogies.
Charles Lutwidge Dodgson is to Lewis Carroll as Eric Arthur Blair is to whom? Judah?
George Orwell.
George Orwell is correct. Very good. Your category?
Mental math.
Mental math.
Yeah, mental math.
Mental math now for 30 points. Here we go. All right. Named after an English clergyman, what probability theorem is often used to determine the rates of false positive in testing? It's called Bayes' theorem, Bayes' law, Bayes' rule. All right, you still control.
Happy accidents.
Happy accidents, all right. Moving on to happy accidents now. This is for 15 points. While experimenting with refrigerants in 1938, DuPont chemist Roy Plunkett stumbled across a polymer that's now marketed as what nonstick coating? Alexa.
Pam.
I'm sorry, no, incorrect. Classical. All right, nothing there. Teflon. The bell indicates the end of the round. Let's read our scores right now from round 3. Classical still in the lead, 255 points to Lincoln's 215. Big hand for both teams, please. All right, we're heading into our final 90 seconds of gameplay. This is the lightning round where the scores can really change. You're going to get 20 points for every correct answer. Incorrect answers are going to cost you 20 points. The clock is already set. Are you ready to go? Here is your first question. In 1950, American science fiction writer Isaac Asimov published an influential collection of short stories that incorporated his 3 laws of robotics. No answer. I, Robot. In 1868, Great Britain had sent more than 160 convicts to what remote country? Owen, to you.
Australia.
Australia is correct. On May 29, 1790, what state was the last of the original 13 colonies to ratify the U.S. Constitution? Alexa, you're first in?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yes. Insurgent is the second title of what science fiction trilogy written by Veronica Roth and set in post-apocalyptic Chicago? Alexa, back to you.
Divergent.
You read a lot, don't you? All right. What early goddess in Greek mythology is the personification of Mother Earth? Alexa.
Gaia.
Gaia is correct. Located at the Arizona-Nevada border, the Hoover Dam is on what river? Owen.
The Colorado River.
Colorado River. What Broadway musical is adapted from the book Tevye's Daughters? Alexa.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof, yes. Emirates Palace is the iconic landmark in what capital city of the UAE? Owen?
It's Dubai.
Abu Dhabi is right. Who directed the films Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X? All right, ladies and gentlemen, very sorry. The judge is now telling me that the answer is incorrect. It was actually Abu Dhabi. So we're going to throw out that last question, and I will read now our last lightning round question. Are you ready? Here we go. In 1989, who became the first African American to be appointed chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff? I have no idea either. Ascorbic acid is commonly called what vitamin? All right, no correct answers there, so we're going on to the tiebreaker. Here are the rules. First correct answer wins the game. 20 points will be awarded. There will be no deduction for a wrong answer. Conferring is allowed before buzzing in, but in the event of a correct answer, the other team will have the opportunity to also provide an answer. You understand? Okay, here we go. This is for the game. What Spanish conquistador is responsible for the demise of the Incas? All right, Alexa?
Pizarro.
Pizarro is correct. And that gives them enough points to be declared the winner this week. Lincoln Senior High with a score of 315 points. Classical fought valiantly. They are our runner-up. Congratulations to both teams for a truly, truly wonderful game. So Lincoln moves on to play the semifinals. So be sure and tune in. We'll see you right back here next week for a high school quiz show. I'm John O'Hurley saying goodbye for now.
High School Quiz Show Rhode Island is brought to you in part by the Rhode Island Foundation.
Do you want to see your school on High School Quiz Show Rhode Island next season? Visit ripbs.org for details. And to stay up to date this season, follow us on social media.